So let's write out a function so we can actually run some code. So I'm going to write function main, right? And you can code along or watch. It's up to you. Now, if you're just watching, you can download the solution resources and then try the exercises out again for yourself and practice that way. Now, a general rule, okay? This curly bracket that we see here, open and close, will be automatically replaced with any argument and stringified, okay? Now, stringified means that we're going to turn them into strings. Oops, stringified. My bad. Now, what do I mean by that exactly? Well, let's say we use the print macro. So if I do print line here, if I can spell today, and let's say we want to say how old we are. Well, I can actually bring in the curly brackets, and I can say years old after I close the string, because remember, this is where our string is. Let's say I add the number 36. If I run this, let's say we run this code, and yes, I did move my console to the right, but if yours is below, that's fine as well. But take a look at this, 36 years old. When I ran this function, we print out, and we print out not the curly bracket, we actually print out 36. It's taken and it's stringified. It checks for any arguments. What happens if we remove the 36? Let's see now. If I run it now, we're going to get an error. And this error is interesting because it says positional argument in format string, but no arguments were given. So it checked. It did check, seeing that, okay, we have a position for an argument over here. But then there were no arguments, and so we got an error. Okay, so I'm going to put this back. We're going to run it again, and we're going to see the code is working. Very good. Now, this argument is just a number, but what about arguments that are names? Could we do it with names as well? Well, named arguments also work. All right, so let's take a look. So, if let's say we do println again, and we're going to create three names, three arguments here. So let's say we have user1, we have an action, and then we have user2. All right, so we have these three arguments, but now we got to actually set them to something. So let's say user1 is going to equal Mary Lewis. User2 is going to equal John Wick. Oops, I really can't spell today. It's pretty funny. And the action is going to be karate kicked. All right, so let's end our expression and let's zoom out and run. Mary Lewis karate kicked John Wick, right? So we're actually using these arguments now, and they work. And I could actually add another space over here to make it look a little better. We can run it again. Mary Lewis karate kicked John Wick. Okay, so there's another example. What else? What else is important? All right, so we see that we have these different types of macros. We're going to be exploring these as we go throughout the code. We debug, we use the error one, formatting, print line. Let's actually move on to an exercise so you can practice.